Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of Hot Off The Terr. I'm your host, as always, Austin Terry. And as you can see, there's a bit of lack of Paddington and the usual board that we have. That is due to us just being idiots and forgetting it. But I promise you, our budget of $0 is not decreasing. We're not in the negatives yet. We're poor, but we're not broke. So, moving on to the MLB. We have news finally. Everybody's favorite sport has news. The Tokyo series. I learned what that was the other day. But they try and pick teams with Japanese players for this series. So obviously LA is like a lock this year as they have like all the Japanese players. But Seiya Suzuki was the only player representing Japan on the Cubs. And he did his country right by going 0 for 8 at the plate with 4 strikeouts. Honestly, I feel like it's harder to do that than actually just hit the ball. I don't know why. But we're going to move on to the NHL because that was the only news in the MLB, and I already told you guys how to fix baseball in the last episode. But Brock Besser has returned to the lineup. He's actually been there the whole time, but before Thursday night, but you wouldn't have known that by looking at the score sheet. But there is some deep lore making its course on Twitter right now. It all started with a tweet from NHL_Watcher that said, LeBron on Insider Trading says Devils GM let it be known at the GM meeting that net guards need to be mandatory. He knows the NHLPA won't be happy about it, but he intends to make net guards mandatory for the Devils. It's an emotional issue for him after his son's scary injury. Now, someone had a rebuttal to this in the form of Matt_NJD. He then quote tweeted this by saying, this could save lives for sure, but from a purely selfish fan perspective, net guards look so gay and Canadian, it's going to be tough to get used to seeing the Devils in net guards. We always used to make fun of the Canadian teams who were forced to wear them, lol. Safe though, 100%. Now, as crazy as a statement that is, people then started clowning him, saying things like, fellas, is it gay to not get your throat slashed open? He also doubled down on his response after the replies by saying, never said they were gay, I said they look gay. A guy died and 93% of players still don't wear them. Why is that? Anyways, this has all led to the entirety of hockey Twitter using this as an inside joke. People are straight up tweeting, who else feeling like a net guard today? In terms meaning gay and Canadian. That is the craziest bit of media I think I've ever seen in my life. But we're just gonna skim past that and go to the NBA. Now, a lot's happening in the basketball world, but not in the NBA. But we're gonna go into the NBA. I just want to make a point here. The Tatum slander needs to stop. It's unwarranted. He's hated for being quote-unquote corny when so many other players are doing the exact same things he's doing, but it's only highlighted because it's Jason Tatum. Everyone would love him if he wasn't on the Celtics. I'm 100% sure of it. But Jason Tatum, who is one of the faces of the league, is being called corny for, one, also being a good dad. People call him corny for being a good father. And two, just for not having an original response to things. And it's stupid. It needs to get dropped. SGA's just as corny, in my opinion. If you watch his interviews, he has all of his teammates glazing him behind him. How is that not corny compared to what Jason Tatum's doing? It blows my mind. But I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna calm down from that. Bronny James dropped 17 against the Bucks. He may actually have what it takes. JJ Redick said post game that he could be above average to good NBA shooter. Which, as a player, you don't want to hear that as your ceiling. You kind of want to hear like a really high thing as your ceiling. But I mean, he's getting there. He's a development project. I believe in Bronny. I just don't think he's going to be crazy good. But yeah. Steph Curry has a pelvic contusion. I just felt the need to say that. Pops up on a notification today. People love Curry. I'll let you know if you didn't know he had a pelvic contusion. Anyways, moving on to real basketball. March Madness. As we're recording this, first round happened yesterday for the men's. Clemson suck. Plain and simple. They ruined my bracket so badly. I had them go in, I think, Sweet 16, and they just completely fucked it up. An abysmal first half from them. But Shout out Drake and the Razorbacks. Yeah, Arkansas. Mom, I want to be a Razorback. It's my. I just have a soft spot toward Arkansas, and seeing them win, it warmed my heart. But that's all. If you want to see my bracket, I hope Shutter Sports will post it sometime. I don't know. Getting a head shake from behind the camera. Lazy. So yeah, moving on to football. Ryan Sessegnon is so fucking back. It's unbelievable. My star boy. I waited so many years to see this kid thrive, and I'm happy that he's doing it back at Fulham. The goal against Tottenham on the weekend was fucking spectacular. He is... fuck. The England cap is looming for Ryan Sessegnon. I'll pick that up later. I just love the kid. Like, every time he does something great, it brings tears to my eyes. Like, I get emotional. I have like a maternal instinct toward Ryan Sessegnon. It's actually amazing. But other than that, it's just the international break, and nothing ever good happens on the international break usually. So just enjoy England versus Albania. Like, I don't know what to tell you. International breaks are widely debated for what they are. Anyways, moving on to something that isn't on break. I need to yawn, hold on.
Even you don't like your show.
Yeah, fuck, this is boring. This is... I'm gonna pick that up now. So, moving on to F1. Jesus Christ! Moving on to F1 now. The first race weekend happened, Australia. My Lando Norris won the Australian Grand Prix, but that wasn't the story of everything. The indomitable Oscar Piastri spirit was what got the attention of everybody. The clips of him struggling to get out of the grass, the timing sheet reviving him from out to just like a minute and a half behind was so funny. But that was the whole story of everything. The Australian curse lives on. But I do want to mention Liam Lawson and how awful he is in that Red Bull car. It's purely because the car is built to Max Verstappen's racing style, which nobody has. So everybody else is just fighting the car while Max Verstappen is like enjoying his life. I don't feel bad for him, as he shouldn't have had that seat, but it is tough for him. He, as we're talking, he qualified P20 in the sprint qualifying. He's having a miserable time in that Red Bull. But whatever. Speaking of sprint qualifying, Lewis Hamilton is P1 for the sprint. It will have already happened probably by the time this is released. But, you know, that feeling when your GOAT still got it, he is so... I just love the guy. He's amazing. Genuine. Seems like a genuine human being. Good for him. He struggled last weekend in Australia, but I think that was a case of the Ferrari team radio just irritating both drivers. I want to point out the Leclerc warned them that the seat was filling up with water, and they responded with, maybe it's water. And what did he say? It was something like, put that on the list of quotes or something. It was, poor kid. But that is all the news we have. It's a half slow news week, but, you know, hope you guys still enjoy, as usual, seeing my beautiful face. That's all I have. Thank you for joining me for episode 8 of Hot Off The Terr. I've been your host, Austin Terry, as always, and I hope to see you back next week. And Paddington will be back next week, guys. I know he's the star of the show, but he'll be back. I promise. So, bye.